In this video, we're going to look at the JC Coke website. So we'll start by logging in. So you'll add wp-admin to the end of the URL, and then you'll put in your username and password here. And then once you're logged in, all the stuff that you need will be over here in this left-hand column in the black. So I'm going to go down the list and show you which things are pertinent and which things are going to be helpful for you to know about. So home, that's your dashboard. That's where everything is located. That it's just like your home button. So you don't need to worry about anything else there. The posts tab is for blog posts, which doesn't look like you're using. If you do end up wanting to add a blog section, that can be implemented pretty easily. And blog posts basically work like any word processor, and you type in what you want to put here, and then you can format it using these buttons and give it a title and click publish. And everything that you use within Pages also looks the same here. So I'll show you how to use that more in depth in just a moment. Moving on to media, that's your media library. That's where all your photos or any of your PDFs or videos that are hosted on the site, anything like that that's on the site would be located in your media library. You can click on any of the media. You can edit the image and rotate it if you need to, or crop it if you need to. You can change the dimensions and scale the dimensions on there if you need to do anything like that as well. And then once you were done editing, you would just click scale or save here in the corner. And that's where all that is located. Next up is forms. There are several different forms here on the site, and these are pretty intuitive, and you can kind of easily see how they work. You add elements to the page from these different fields, and if you select any of these fields here, it will show up over here. It'll show up at the bottom, so then you'll have to drag the item wherever you want it to go. If you click on the item, if you click on the arrow, you can change the field label, you can change the appearance of some of the size of the field, you can change any of these values here. And the main thing you'd want to know there is just that you can change the label of what it says. You can make it a required field, and you can also duplicate the field if you need to use it several times, and then you can delete the field here. And click update if you make any changes. If you go back to the forms page here, you'll see that you can view the entries for each individual form by clicking entries, and you can look at your entries here, and they should be obviously going to an email inbox. So you don't ever have to do it like this, but if you're ever wondering if maybe you missed one or you're not sure, you can click on the entry here and view the contents of your entry here, and you can even resend the notification to someone else if you'd like. So back under forms, if you look at the individual form, if you want to edit the form, you click that button here, and like I showed you just a moment ago, it'll take you to this particular space where you can edit the form. And then if you go to settings, this is where you can look at the confirmations and notifications. So the notifications is who is going to get a notification that the form has been submitted. So it looks like this email address is getting all the form submissions for this particular form. And if you ever need to change that, or if you want to add a second person or second email, you can just duplicate the notification and change out that email in the send to email here, and then click update notifications. And you can preview what your form looks like. So if you make some changes, you can kind of see what it looks like here. It doesn't have the formatting of the site, but you can see generally how it's laid out. And that's most of the items there. Under pages, you'll see different internal pages. And if you click on one, we can look at it. This is the title of your page. This one looks like it just has the apply now form, and that's added by clicking add form, and then you select whichever form, and then you you take off you don't want to display the title or the description and click insert form, and it'll put that short code right there for you. And so you've already got that. And let's look at a page with something else on it. I'm not saving any of those changes since we don't need them. On this page, looks like, I'm not sure if it's not loading or if we have that content through somewhere else. Let's see if one of these other pages has some content on it, just to kind of show you how to edit it. Okay, so these are using also short code to put information in place, but you can see that there is some text here, and that the size of the text can be changed through here. You can bold, italicize any text, you can bullet or number a list, you can align it differently, and you can hyperlink it to any internal or external URL. And the featured image on the page is over here. You would change that by clicking it and then selecting a new image and clicking set featured image. And then once you've made any changes on your page, you'd click update. And those are the main functions of internal pages. Trying to see if there's anything else you might need to know. Like I said, you can change that featured image, or you can remove it altogether if you'd like. And you just type and then use any of these buttons to format it. And then you add media through this button. If you wanted to insert a picture within the page, you could do that and then click any of those items and then select them. And then if you made any changes, you'd click update. A lot of your pages have functions through widgets, so I will show you kind of where some of the widgets are and how some of that all works as well. So let's move to comments. Would be like if you had a blog and people were commenting on it, but that's not something you have on your site right now. Under Foo Gallery, this is under, I think, the community tab. You have a gallery here of different nonprofits and places you support, and those can be added or deleted through here. So you can remove them from the gallery or rearrange the gallery in here if you'd like. And then click update to make any changes. So you would hit the X there to add a new button, drag them where you want them to go, and then adding media through clicking right there. We'll move to team. This is where your team members are located. You can edit them by clicking on one and then editing any of the information that you see here. So the name at the top, and then if you scroll down, you can change the portal access. You can change the title, the phone number, any of this stuff in through here. Pretty self-explanatory. If you change any of that, then you would just click update. And then the groups are located here. And if you want to add a new member, you would add a new member through this button or this button. And then their image can be set through featured image. And if you need to reorder the members, that can be done through here. And you would just drag them where you want them. And then click Save Order down at the bottom. Up next is Cola products. So these work kind of in a similar fashion, where if you wanted to edit one, you would just click on it, and then the title is up here, and the image is added through Add File, and then the link put right here, and then click Update. And if you wanted to add new, you would click Add New through here or through there. And you can view all your products here. If you need to delete one, you can hit this button here that says Trash, and they will end up in a trash folder over here, and you can restore them if you need to or delete them permanently. Genesis is your theme on your site, nothing you've got to worry about or think about here. Under appearance, there are two things you need to look at, which are widgets and menus. And under widgets, like I said, a lot of the stuff on your homepage and some of the internal pages are located. So this stuff is going to be a little bit more difficult to edit. So if you end up with some questions about how to edit some of this, it might be best to contact us first before you try to change something and it doesn't look right. So this is your header image. You can see these are talking about where on the site the widget is located, and then within there are the widgets. So then you have your main menu at the top there. And under home top, this is where we have the different images that are on the home page, and they can be changed by clicking choose an image and then changing the image out. And then if you wanted to change the text here, you could change it just by, this works the same way that those pages do, editing any of the text, and then you click save in the corner. To rearrange where the widgets are on the page, they're just dragged, and they can even be dragged from one section to another. And if you want to add a new section, you click whatever section or type of widget you want to add, say where you'd like it to go, and then add the widget, and it will show up there. And again, so you can see where each of these items are located. If that picture needs to change, it can. If this wording needs to change, if this needs to link somewhere differently, you can change that. And again, the save button is always in the bottom right-hand corner. And you have that revolution slider at the bottom, and I will talk a little bit about that. Again, this is where that wording is located. And then if you look at these other pages, you can see here's where your Foo Gallery is that we just showed. Here's where the text is on those internal pages, and they are located within these widgets. So if you end up needing to change any of the text, those are all located throughout here. So you can find whatever page you're looking for, find what text you're needing to change, and change it right there. And then make sure you click save. So next up would be menus. This is the next thing that we need to look at. And we have a social media menu, and we have a main menu. So let's look at the main menu first. And under that, we have what is at the top of your page here, at the top of your homepage. So you have menus with sub-menu items, and these are just added by, if you add a new page, you would just select it and click add to menu. It'll show up over here, and you can drag it wherever you want it to go, or you can make it a sub-menu item. And if you click the arrow, you can change the label, the navigation label. Or if you just want to add a link to an external site, you can do that through a custom link, and then just put whatever URL you want there, and whatever the field label to be, you would put there, and click add to menu, and then click save. And under social media, if any of your social media ever changes, this can be edited through here. And if you click the arrow to reveal it, you can see that there is no Facebook URL. So right now that's not linking anywhere. So if you have a Facebook page or a Twitter page or an Instagram or a LinkedIn rather, you can put those URLs here and then click save. If you need to add a different type of social media, all you'd have to do is copy and paste this nav label and then change out where it says the social media from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and just put Instagram or whatever social media that you would want. So add a custom link, copy that, paste it here, and then just where it says Facebook, you'd make it say, Instagram, and then you'd put your Instagram / whatever your link is there, click add to menu, and then you can drag it and put it wherever you want. And then if you decide you don't want it, you can remove it. And if you decide you don't want the social media menu, that's again under widgets. I'm not going to save my changes because I don't want to. And that's going to be in the footer. You have a menu, social media menu, or the main menus is there, I guess. Let's see. It's this one right here, excuse me. So if you want to delete this menu and you don't want that there at all, you can do that right there. Moving on, plugins are what's used to create your site. You can download and add new plugins and add new functionality to your site if you'd like. Under users, this is who has access to the back end of the site. If you want to change your password, that's done by clicking here, coming in and getting a new password and typing it in here and clicking update user. Or if you want to add a new user, you can do that. And then if you want them to have an administrator access to the site, you would click administrator and make sure to copy and paste the password so that someone can have it, and then they can log into your site and help you with it as well. But that would obviously want to be someone that you trust with the password to your site, and you make sure that it's a strong password. A lot of these things are things you don't need to worry about. So tools, settings, custom fields, any of this stuff is not stuff that is affecting your site or that you need to worry about. If you have questions about tools or settings or any of these items, you can let us know. We'll move to slider revolution. And your sliders are, you have the home slider and the one at the bottom of the page. And the one at the bottom of the home page, the things that you would update would be this image here. So I just double clicked on it and then it opens up to the media library, and then I can click whatever new image I want and click insert. And you'll just want to make sure that it fits and looks nice, and you can preview your slide here to see what it looks like once you've made changes so that you can know if it looks okay. And that's all you'd ever have to change out on these. And if you ended up wanting to make a new slide and keeping these the same, if you just click duplicate, then I would duplicate the slide and change out on the new slide, I would change out the image, and then you don't actually have to delete or change any of these slides. So if it has a green check, then that means it's visible. And if this red mark is selected, then that means that that slide is not visible. So if you want to end up changing those things out, I would click duplicate and just have a replica of the exact same slide, and then you can mess with the functionality and not worry about messing it up in any way. You still have the original. So let's go back to all sliders here, and we'll look at this slider. And for this one, we have a YouTube video, and you can see that the ID for the video that plays is pasted right here. So at the end of your YouTube video URL, there'd be some sort of ID back here that you would copy and paste. It'd be, something along these lines. And then you'd paste it here. Again, the same thing would work here if you just duplicated the slide and then pasted that URL in the appropriate place. And anytime you make a change, click save, and then you can go to your homepage and refresh and see if it looks right. And I guess it's not our homepage, but you can go to the homepage and refresh and make sure it looks okay. And WordFence is something that's in place to keep your site safe, but we take care of those notifications. You don't have to worry about that. Under Table Manager, I don't think you're using this anywhere on your site. If you are and you run into questions with that, you can let us know. It doesn't look like you're using Google Maps either. And then these other items are not pods admin. We don't have to talk about. So that's the main functions of your site. That's the kind of things that you might want to update or change. And if you run into any more questions, you can let us know and we'll be happy to help.